What's up, everybody? Dustin Heiner here with Master Passive Income, and I want to show you how you can use your IRA and your 401k to invest in precious metals like gold, silver, all the other good metals out there. We can actually use our 401ks to invest in. Now, what we're going to be using is a solo 401k or a self-directed IRA where we're literally controlling our own money instead of giving it to somebody else and say, you make me money. No, we're going to get control ourselves. And I also have another video where I talk about all the different ways that you can invest with your 401k, from real estate, precious metals like we're talking about today, cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, farmland, startup businesses, all that sort of stuff. So check the link in the description below or in the comment card. You can actually see how you can invest with all these different asset classes with your solo and 401k and your self-directed IRA. Now, I have an expert in on the show that's going to show us how to do this with all of our precious metals. Now, we have Brandon Walsh with Rocket Dollar. Brandon, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Dustin. Master Passive Income is always one of our best partners, so really excited to be on here.
Tell us about the precious metals and how we can actually invest our money, our retirement accounts. It just seems like weird that we could do that. We're used to just putting it in mutual funds or whatever, but this sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah, and so we have a lot of precious metal investors. Precious metal is kind of one of the foundations of these self-directed IRAs. When self-directed IRAs first started, what were people investing in? Real estate and gold. Gold, silver, and precious metals. This has been an asset for thousands of years. As precious metals continue to get used in different, tech projects, physical engineering projects, so much of that precious metals is really still useful in the technology we use today. So when you're able to buy precious metals through a retirement account, and a lot of people love this checkbook IRA LLC structure because, again, they get to pick who they work with. If they have a certain precious metals provider, trust company, a vaulting service, they get to decide what service they go to, what vaulting fees they pay, and where that precious metal is stored. As long as it's not in their home, they can store it at a local bank or maybe a vaulting service in their state. Because some people feel very confident about Switzerland, but they say, hey, that's really far away. If something happened, there was no way I'd be able to ever access that. So, vaulting in Oklahoma or in Delaware, or maybe a vaulting service in your home state, you can say, hey, I own precious metals, a store of value inside my retirement account, and I also have a very tight eye on where it is and where it is located. And that makes people feel a lot better because it's a physical asset. Just like real estate, a physical asset they can touch, you can feel, hey, that is in the vaulting service an hour's drive away, or in the safety deposit box in a bank. And a physical asset in our age, the amount of money supply just keeps, there's a lot of money floating around. People sometimes get nervous. They say, hey, I want to store value in something I know that can't, really hard to be deflated and has always stored a lot of value. And I also know that there's no way a company can flub a number on it. It's a bar of gold. It is somewhere. An accountant can clearly say, look, this bar of gold, I just audited the vault. There's 20 bars of gold in this section of the vault. We know that for sure. Everyone can see it with their own eyes. Just that makes people feel very secure in today's day and age with an asset they can touch, they can feel and look at and say, my retirement is built on something physical and is going to be around no matter what. So what precious metals can your IRA own? The IRS has a certain list of what's approved. Gold, silver, palladium, platinum, and certain approved coins. You should just know that with the gold market, there is a lot of different precious metals coins out there. Some are approved by the IRS and approved as a valid store of value. Others are a little bit more collectible. The IRS has never really liked anything collectible. Artwork, Dustin's guitar on the back there of the screen, anything that you can touch or feel. Let's use Dustin's guitar as an example for the precious metals, is that if Dustin has a priceless guitar, they don't think he's really going to keep that in safekeeping for his IRA. He's probably going to show it off to his friends. He might play it on the weekends. He might say, look at, this guitar is 200 years old. Look how beautiful it is. I bought it for many, many dollars. I'm going to sell it for later. But really, he's kind of playing around with it in the meantime. So when it comes to collectibles or precious metals in the home, the IRS wants you to just keep a little bit of separation for it. They don't want you a gold coin that just looks fancy. They want you to keep something for your IRA, just for your IRA, just for investing purposes. So you have to keep these coins out in a safety deposit box. And you have to make sure to look carefully through the list of approved IRA coins that it's one of the standardized stores of value. Don't be looking for collectible coins because you could potentially buy that could be an IRS prohibited transaction. However, there's a lot of precious metals dealers that are so used to dealing with IRA investors, they know the stuff backwards and forwards. If you talk to a vaulting service or a precious metals buying service like AppMex and our partner One Gold, they know the stuff. They know how to deal with IRAs. They're going to know exactly how to help you guide through the basics there. They also know that law backwards and forwards and also how to help you store it safely. Somewhere that you can feel confident. The physical gold is there. It's audited every year. If you buy the gold, some of these services will also let you take physical delivery of the gold. And that is just part of the consumer confidence. They want to make sure you know that the gold exists, that the precious metal is there. If you do that, you cannot store the gold at home. Whatever precious metals you get or receive, if it ever comes to the home, you should try and get it to go directly to a safety deposit box or a vaulting service. But if you ever do take physical delivery, you should get that precious metal to a vaulting service as quickly as possible.
I'm glad you said it because that was kind of going through my head. Because when you normally buy gold, you can buy it online or you have somebody that's a dealer really, really close to you. There's lots and lots of money changers here. So anywhere in the world. So a lot of people are selling gold and silver. And so let's say we got our Rocket Dollar account and we have that checkbook control and we actually write a check and we give it to somebody that's a local, coin dealer or gold or silver dealer. We take that and we go right to the bank and put it in our safety deposit box. Is that kosher for the IRS?
And yeah, it's really what the IRS is. They used to let people store gold at home, but just like the collectibles, like that guitar example, they found a little bit too many were just cutting corners on it. There would be the IRA officially on paper would say there's 5 bars of gold. The IRS agent would audit someone, they open the safe, and all of a sudden there's 8. And so this weird discussion, awkward discussion suddenly starts. Where did the other bars of gold come from? These are not in your IRA, are they? Or which are the 5 from your IRA and which are the 3 that are not in your IRA? So you really want to avoid anything like this ever happening. Store gold with a qualified custodian, vaulting service, or a safety deposit box. You can read through those rules both online and with the IRS rules out there. You really need to make sure you're educated on those. If you're just vaulting with a vaulting service, you don't need to worry too much, but especially with the personal transactions. Again, this is an area of self-directed IRA can have a lot of benefits. Dealing with someone in your local community, getting a great deal on something that is far away from New York and Boston, but has a lot of value in it. So you can make those purchases with your IRA. Just be careful to follow all of the gold rules around precious metals.
That's great. So with precious metals, it's a great way to store the value that you've already created. So let's say the money that you already have, you're locking it in because we know there's going to be inflation over time. Money's just going to get inflated, and so it's not going to be worth as much. But if you buy gold, silver, or other precious metals, it's literally locked in at that value. And as like I said, gold goes up, let's say it goes to $5,000. Well, if you buy it at $1,700, which is $1,750 right now, it goes up, you still have that value of what you paid for it then, but the gold is still worth it. So I personally think utilizing Rocket Dollar, utilizing a 401k, solo 401k and self-directed IRA is a great way to buy and hold precious metals.
Yeah, and the precious metals market, people often look at this as a way to get away from an asset. Like the stock market moves in a certain way. Let's buy precious metals that moves a little bit differently. Sometimes gold and precious metals track the stock market, but usually it is moving a bit differently. And again, like Dustin is saying, that's a great way to store value. There could be many terrible things that happen across the world. We will still, as humans, find value in gold and silver and other precious metals. And that's just that confidence that if you're putting your IRA in something, people just want to be confident. They want to know that it's there when they retire. Precious metal is a great way to diversify and know, hey, I'm storing some value. I'm going to have the ability to sell this as an asset, no matter what, inflation, the stock market moves. Gold is always going to have a solid value as well as silver. I just want to say a little bit about Rocket Dollar. We have a discount code here for Master Passive Income customers. Rocket Dollar, we try to offer this checkbook IRA at a much cheaper price. Sometimes it's up to a third cheaper than some of the competition out there. We try and do it the same way every time, just that IRA, that Colorado LLC in the bank account. I can talk about how you can, if you ever have a question about how that Colorado LLC works in a certain state, feel free to call me and how that would be structured. So for $360 and $15 a month, you get an IRA, an LLC, and a bank account relationship with a bank that are a partner that understands real estate and all these different alternative assets. So on the right here, you'll see kind of some of our competitors' fees, which can get pretty long and crazy sometimes. Rocket Dollar was started because we feel a lot of these fee sheets were too ridiculous, and they're restricting people from being able to invest in alternative assets in their IRAs. So with the Master Passive Income code, you can click Dustin's, make sure to click his link so he gets credit there on Master Passive Income site. But for you to get $50 off, you can enter Master Passive Income in the referral code box right before you get to our final purchase at Rocket Dollar. That'll get you $50 off in your account. And hopefully, I'd love if you had a conversation with me and Dustin, all the great education that he has. Dustin, thanks so much for bringing me on here today. It's been really great to talk about real estate, self-directed IRAs, and all these different types of other assets.
Yeah, Brandon, I definitely learned a lot, and I know everybody else is. And so for everybody, definitely click on the link in the description, masterpassiveincome.com/rocket dollar. But make sure you use that promo code, Master Passive Income. It's all one word, so that you can get that discount. But yeah, Brandon, it's been great. Thank you so much for giving us so much great information. Hopefully, a lot of people will be able to save money on their taxes, mitigate all those taxes, because Uncle Sam's going to take their portion, and we tried our best to not let that happen within the laws, and Rocket Dollar does a great job. So thank you very much, Brendan.
Thank you, Dustin. And have a great day, everyone. Appreciate it.